Hello, my crafty friends out there. I want to welcome you to my studio. I'm Lisa Fulford, your creative coach, and today is Technique Tuesday. I am pre-recording this on the same day that I am doing my Makeup Monday, but I have a very fun um, technique to share with you guys. I had seen it in the past. I've done it years ago, but then I've been seeing a lot of it online here lately and on YouTube. And so I'm like, I used to do that technique and it's a lot of fun. So I wanted to go ahead and use it with some of the products that we have now. And then I thought I want to share that with all of you. So we will get started with our Technique Tuesday. And I hope that you really enjoy this technique. Give me a moment to switch to my desktop. Okay, there we go. I'm trying not to get confused on the different cameras. Something that I do have going on, or Stampin' Up! Has going on, I mentioned it on the video for my Makeup Monday, is the starter kit. I did check on all that information, and it's $165 in eligible products, and it is a $99 purchase. So you get to pick out $165 in eligible products for only $99. That is an awesome deal. So if you were thinking about spending close to $100 anyway, then you may want to consider bumping that up just a little bit and finding $165 worth of merchandise to get it for $99. And you are under no obligation to do what I do to make it into a business. You can make it where you are a hobby crafter and that you get the discount of the 20%. I do believe it's 20% for across the board, and then as you grow, you can increase that percentage. But no matter what, whenever you place an order, as long as it's $20 or more in the US, then you automatically get rewards to use off a future purchase. So it's a win-win all the way around. So I'm really looking into these rewards and trying to wrap my head around it, that it's different, but I think it's going to benefit everybody. So you don't have to have this great big huge order, but if you do, you might consider going ahead and purchasing the starter kit and just be a hobby demonstrator, or a discount shopper, as I like to say. There's nothing that states that you have to do what I do, but if you do, I would be more than happy to help you in that journey. So let's get started though with this technique. It is a lot of fun, and it's just one of those things that I do it a little bit different now than what I used to, but it's called the faux silk technique. And so I have this card, and this is what the DSP started out as, and then now it looks like that. Isn't that just beautiful? I just really enjoyed this. And then, so that's one of the ways that I used it. But then I have this card, and that is the same technique right there. And then this is the paper beforehand. So if it's a bolder, much bolder image and colors, you get a different outcome. Where this one here, even though it's kind of bold here, once you make it into the faux silk, it's not quite as bold, but it's still gorgeous. I think if this would be a really bright orange or reds, it would show up better, but it's kind of the color of the blues, the greens, it's kind of in the same tones, not the same colors by no means, but the same tones. Where this, you have these almost white flowers, then you've got the yellow ones, you've got the brown in the middle, the green and the yellow are not even close in tones. So I think that's why it works better with this color. But I'm going to show you how to do the technique, and I hope that you'll really enjoy it and you will run with it and make all kinds of cards. So this is the card that we're going to make today, and part of it I already have done. I've already got the circle that has the technique on it. I have the, let's see, let me just grab those pieces here. Okay, so I already have this with the technique on it. I'm still going to show you how to do it. That's what this one's for. So I've already got that finished, and I cut it with the stitched circle dies. And then these are from the maybe Spotlight on Nature, maybe. But then this is our early espresso, and it's the one with the nice little eyelet things around it. And then this is our Daffodil Delight, and it has like little starbursts, and that is like golder than what it is in person. I think it's the lights are playing tricks with it. But these are the two dies that I used. It's got the little eyelet, and then this is the one that's got like a starburst on it. And the pieces are still falling out of it. Okay, so the things that you're going to need for this technique is, okay, there's multiple ways to do it. I'm showing one way today. I might in the future show the other ways. But for the faux silk technique, you can either stamp on tissue paper. So I have tissue paper here. But the thing is, this has a shiny sheen to it. See how that is? But this side is more of a dull, muted side. So on one side of it, the part that's really shiny, down here in this corner, I'm going to make an X so that I know this side. I'll put top because I can read top, but the X, it just kind of goes through because you can see it clear through it. This is the dull, this is the shiny. And so the shiny part you cannot stamp on. It won't dry. I don't know if it has a coating on it, but you can stamp directly onto your tissue paper and then put it on a piece of cardstock. Or you can stamp directly on a piece of cardstock and then do your tissue paper over the top. So that's basically two different ways of getting the same outcome. Then the other thing is tissue over DSP, and that's what these two techniques that I've got here, that's how I did those. I'm going to put the tissue paper over my DSP and it'll show through. And then you could ink your tissue paper and then also add like Versamark and put like embossing powder on it. You could do that as well. I'm doing one technique today, and maybe in the future I'll do, the other ones, but it would be a super long video if I did each and every technique. So I'm sticking with one. So to do this technique, you need the tissue paper, of course, and then you need the DSP, because that's the technique I'm going with. And then you need the our adhesive sheets. And they have these little themes on them, so you can peel them off easily. And we want to add our adhesive to our DSP. Oh, there it is. I was looking for my silicone mat, and it was right in front of me. So I'm going to put this down on here. We don't need that yet. And we're going to add adhesive to the front of our DSP. You want to remove this very easily so that the adhesive stays where it needs to stay, and then the backing will release. So you want to do it very slowly. Okay, so I'm peeling. That's a backing, and that goes in the tray. And we're going to do this next backing. And I'm just going to try to get it to release so that the sticky stays on this carrier piece. And then I'm going to do the next piece. Like I said, you want to go easy. You don't want to lift all that sticky off because you need it on to be able to go to your DSP. But if we peel it all off, so the majority of it's still there, but I cut mine into circles, so it didn't matter if it went clear to the edge. And now that's sticky. I'll have to clean that up shortly. Just remember, you will have to clean up if you use something to put that down, like to get the sticky to stay. So now I'm going to line this up, and this is cut the same size as this. I'm going to get the edges lined up the best that I can. Then I'm going to press. See, I didn't quite get it in on there straight. That's fine because, like I said, I cut mine into circles. You could get one here and one there. So I'm burnishing it with my fingertips. You could use a bone folder or what have you, but I want to make certain it's good and adhered. And I'm going to sit that right there for now. So I'm going to take our tissue paper. This is the top side because it's the really shiny side. But I wrote top on there so that I would know where it was at. Now I'm going to go ahead and trim it down some. Certain still tall enough. So this is the top side. I'm going to make it go all in together. I'm just going to kind of wad it up. And the more tighter you wad it, the more wrinkles it has. If you do it really tight, you have fewer wrinkles. Okay, so this says top, so I know this is the upside. Now I want to take this carrier sheet off my DSP. And I want to do that gently also. Now the way I used to do it is we would take a sponge and some of our liquid glue, or we would use a glue stick or an Elmer's glue stick. I'll glue up my nails. Or something to make it where your tissue paper would adhere. But we now have these adhesive sheets that are wonderful for this. So I want to open this up, and you don't want to smooth this out. I'm just kind of holding it over the DSP. And I'm just going to kind of start patting it down. So kind of like that. And now I'll rub it because those wrinkles are in there. They're not coming out. Now, if I was going to put this on a card front, I could then glue this back over each edge and have it that way. Other than I wrote top on there, and you can see that. Or you could trim it off. It's up to you. So that is how you do the faux silk. Like that. Isn't that really pretty how it changes it? And then like this one here, I wrinkled it even tighter so the wrinkles are just so much smaller between them. Where this one's a little bit bigger. So you could, each time you do it, you get something different. And you can press those down more so they're not so raised up. You don't want to like knock out the things, but you can still have the wrinkles in there. And so that's how you do the faux silk. So we'll start putting this card together. Don't want to just knot. And the paper that I used for this is the Floral Impressions paper is what I'm using for this card. I think this was a different, that was from that mixed floral. Yeah, from the mixed media florals. That's what this other one was. This one is from the Floral Impressions. All right, so I have my 4 1/4 by 8 1/2 scored at 4 1/4 so that when I fold it, I have a square base. Okay, and then I have one of the new, it's the textured note dies. I have one of those, and I'm going to want to stamp on it and then place it right in here. But before I place it, I want to trim it down just a little bit. So I'm trying to get it to where it's pretty equal. I'll flip this over and grab a little pencil on these edges. I'm going to put little marks on there. I can see them. I don't know if you can. And then I'm going to take the paper trimmer and cut that down. Oh, there we are. I may have to sand that just a bit. Should have cut it from front to back, but that's okay. Look and see if I got a sander here real. Yes, I do right there. I'm just going to kind of make it go the opposite because it pushed it this way, and so it's fraying towards me, and I'm trying to there we go. Keep it like that. All right. So now we'll put this together. Yep, that looks like it'll work. Now we're going to add our thank you to this. I think I used Mossy Meadow. And I used the thank you stamp from the With You in Mind. Ink this up. Try make certain it's a good inking. I'm going to re-ink just a little bit. Yeah, Mossy. I've had my stamps, my ink pads for quite some time, and I hardly ever have to re-ink them, but here lately I've been having to re-ink a lot of them. I think it's just because they're getting to that where I've had them for so long that they're all needing it. Let's check that. That's a little better. All right, so we're going to do this at the bottom of our basic white die cut textured note die. Just trying to get it straight. I hold it, it makes it where the ink will adhere better. There we go. That looks really good. I'm impressed with my own self. Sometimes, just like on the Make It Monday, I stamped it, and for whatever reason, the center of it did not stamp. So I had to fix that, which photopolymer, that's awesome because you can. All right, so I need to adhere this to the front of my card. And this is a bit of a fun fold also because it is a square card, but then with the image, it is sticking up above the card base itself, but it makes it the size of a regular card by doing that. Try to make certain I get it straight and at that edge. There we go. That looks pretty good. See, I've got it right there at that edge. All right, so now then I'm going to bring in my ruler. I need it to be 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So I want to put this long about there, right there on that edge where it starts to do your measurements for the beginning of 1. Guess I should glue these together, so I'm going to add glue to the back of this. I'll put it in the center of our Daffodil Delight. Just like that. Grab some dimensionals. We're going to add that to the back of our Daffodil Delight. Just like that. There we go. I'm going to add that to the center of this one. Then we're going to glue it down. So I need it to be no bigger than 5 1/2. I'm going to put just a bit of a tick mark there, and I'll be able to pull that up and erase it. And I want to add glue to just the bottom portion. And don't get near those little eyelet holes, because if you do, the glue will squish out. So here's that little tick mark. Go ahead and erase that. And then have that sitting there. There's my little tick mark. There's my 5 1/2. I can kind of rotate it so it covers up the corners of those. There we go. So now the top corners of that rectangle are covered, so you don't see the white on the back. You just want to hold this down so it adheres well to your card. So there's dimensionals between the Early Espresso and the Daffodil Delight, but everything else is just glued down. Then we're almost finished. Clean a few things out of the way here. We're going to use some gems, and they are the Starburst sequins, and I love these because they are a low profile. There's not much to them, but they give a large punch in. Like, they're gorgeous. some, whoops, I'm going to grab some of the, I don't know what colors, because I do not, I mean, here lately I haven't been seeing where they put the color on the thing. Now, if you look it up online or in the catalog, a lot of times it tells you what color, but I wish they told it on the actual package. So I'm going to pick up one of our, it's a goldish color, so I think it's probably Daffodil Delight. And I think I'm going to put them in the same places that I did before. Glue that's on there. And then I'm going to grab another small one. I'll put it down here. I'm going to grab a larger one. Put it up this way. And then give me some white. Sprinkle around up here. Give it a little sparkle here and there. Like that. And then one last thing is I'm going to bring this in and cover my workstation just a little bit. And bring in my, it's a spritzer bottle. And down here on the bottom, you can kind of see that it's kind of milky looking, and that has Wink of Stella in it. So, and then I filled it up the rest of the way. I dropped some drips of Wink of Stella in there, and then I filled it up the rest of the way with alcohol. And then I shake it up, and you spritz. And this is going to turn more vibrant, but then as it dries, it'll go back to what it is. And that adds some sparkle to it. See the difference in this one's real vibrant and that one is not. This is tissue paper. So as it dries, it will dry back to the original. But then, I don't know if you can catch the shimmer in any of it or not. In person, it is gorgeous with the shimmer. I don't know if you can see it on the one that's already dry or not. But anyway, it puts that glittery image or the texture all over that. So that is my Technique Tuesday. I hope that you love this technique. I love it. I think it's beautiful. Now, I mainly use it on florals just because I'm not real versed in silk, but with this technique, it's a faux silk technique. And so I'm not real versed in silk, but in my mind, silk is probably a florally, it's not stripes or things like that. So anyway, so I thought this was really gorgeous. I wanted to share it with you. And then, so here's one where it's a panel and I put it on the front of the card. Once I put it on the front of the card or on the cardstock or DSP, I die cut it out. Same way with this. When I put it on there, I took this piece right here, put my circle, my stitch circle die on there, ran it through our Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and then got the circle to add to my card front. So thank you so much for joining me. And I hope you give this technique a try to see where it takes you. Try it in different ways. Try stamping on the tissue paper. Try stamping on cardstock and covering it with tissue paper. It's a lot of fun. But maybe in the future I will do one of the other types of the technique. But right now I thought this was gorgeous and I wanted to share it with you all so much. So thank you once again for joining me for my Technique Tuesday. Remember, I'm pre-recording this, but by the time that you are seeing it, the ordering special for the promotion for our starter kit will be live by then. And it goes until May 31st of 2025. And it's $165 US dollars for of product for your starter kit. Your starter kit costs you $99 in US dollars. And then let's see, anything else? The next thing here, it says that you get VIP access to products. That's another thing, is you get to order early for products. You get to do, like, we have a thing coming up that's called Creativity Now. You get to register for things like that, a 20% product discount, and you get commissions. And then for anything that's $20 and above, you get rewards. And that's an awesome deal right now going on. I mean, you get rewards no matter what, but this kit is awesome. So if you're interested in it, I would be more than happy to give you information on that. I'm on my 19th year, so I know a little bit. I don't know everything, and anything that I don't know, I will find out for you. So until next time, happy stamping.